Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Martin, and today we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to take a look at the trailer for Biomutant, the new game that's coming out with THQ Nordic, I believe. We're actually going to be looking at their explanation trailer to see a little bit more detail about the game and see what it's all about, hopefully. I don't know. But it's a game that I've been keeping my eye on, sort of on and off, because at one point it just vanished from the face of the earth, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's coming out soon. And since then I've sort of checked in every so often, but the game comes out next week. I figure this is a good time to have a look at this actual explanation trailer that they've just put out, I think this week or so. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm interested to see what the scale of this game is, what it actually is, because I've seen a bunch of pictures, a few clips, and I've not really been able to put the game together in my own head to see what it actually is. So hopefully this trailer here will cover it and we're going to watch it together. So without further ado, let's take a look at this trailer and see what they're going to be giving us.
So, what is Biomutant in a nutshell? Biomutant is an open-world, post-apocalyptic kung fu fable.
Okay.
Basically, in terms of structure,
that's a lot of things at
like,
once.
Zelda Breath of the Wild, I guess. But the feedback that's that we've been getting over the years, it's that it's kind of a strange, weird, good mix between Ratchet and Clank, Devil May Cry, Batman Arkham. Yeah, and
it's pretty refreshing to hear a dev actually compare their game to other games. A lot of devs don't like to do that
filled
for
with
various
a lot
reasons.
Of weird events and fun things to find. I think the primary thing that we worked on,
it looks gorgeous though.
The control that the player have.
And that little robot horse. Come on now.
We have the possibility for the player, to set the attributes, and in Biomutant, that's tightly connected or integrated with the way that the character looks.
Okay.
But the player is like completely free to morph their own breed. We call it a breed.
Oh, look at that!
But mammal, if you will, and eventually
make it look really freaky looking.
On what kind of animal this is, but for me, and I guess the team, we have allowed the player to make
it like a cat to me.
More like a Muppet.
Like a cat panda. With a leather jacket.
Character customization, it goes all the way down to crafting bits onto your clothes or hats or pants or whatnot.
I assume it's going to give you like buffs and stuff.
The arsenal or the weapons. I mean, it's an action role-playing game, right? So we're focusing on
the fuck is this?
Action parts.
I didn't expect like fucking guns and shit. I mean, maybe that's already been out there. I've just not been keeping up.
Fine for weapons and gear also comes with like a material, a quality aspect. So
it's pretty cool though. I like how it's all like clipping together and
higher quality material.
Like you're customizing the look and its effect.
You don't have to repair, but you can actually upgrade things that are broken. But they will never diminish in terms of their material qualities, like in Zelda, for example. We don't do that. In the game, you have six different tribes.
Games with breaking weapons annoys me a little bit, so it's nice to say they're not,
if you will,
steering into that too much.
A specific Wang Fu combat style and trained his disciples in that. So these tribes are now in conflict. Basically, there are three tribes that have what we call a light aura. So basically a good karma, if you will, if you want to paint it black and white. And there are three tribes that have like a dark aura. Eventually, at the start of the game, you will find that you have to choose an ally. So one of these six tribes.
Okay.
As you move along or go further into the game, you're free at any
time. I wonder how that affects
to change your allegiance.
Story.
But at the start of the game, you choose one of these two tribes. And basically, at that point, the state of the world is represented by a huge tree that's at the heart of the 8x8 kilometer open world.
Interesting.
So it's a representation.
So the tree will change.
The world either.
Well, that's what's that thing? A big turtle.
Or the world surviving. So this is all tied to the tree of life.
I wonder how drastically that's going to change depending on certain choices you make.
A light or a tribe, they want to save the world, so make sure that the tree survives, and also then uniting the other tribes. Whilst allying with dark or a tribe would mean the opposite. They believe
like a
that
moral
the
compass
only way
thing
that you can move forward is to make sure there's kind of a cleansing, I guess. So making sure that everything that's bad in the world
That works.
kind of goes under, so you have a rebirth and start anew, if that makes sense. So you're very free to make this choice, but also bear in mind that that will affect the ending of the game.
Okay, so there are going to be things you can do that will affect
game being
what
called
ending.
Biomutant has to have some form
What's
of
this shit?
mutations
The magic?
/ abilities, right?
What is this?
There's quite a wide range of them. Primarily, we have the biomutations, so those are kind of more physical.
It's mutations, but it's basically magic.
For example, you can spawn a mushroom in front of you.
That
That
like
has
comic books.
multiple uses. If I just use that one as an example in terms of creative freedom for you as a player, combining this jumping up on the mushroom with, let's say, just electricity shooting
combos
out from
and shit.
fingers,
That's pretty cool.
like the Emperor in Star Wars, or once the character is airborne, like your enemy, just going up there.
No, so you can use the fucking mushroom.
Kind of strange abilities. I don't want to go into.
You can mix and match things together.
The other aspect is the psi mutations. So those are more like your, X-Men style abilities, if you will. Like, for example, levitate, which again can give you both exploration opportunities, but also then you can use it in combat in conjunction with other abilities, and obviously ranged combat. So that will give you.
I wonder if there's like a limit to that kind of stuff, like a manometer or something. What's that?
Keep on exploring the world.
I had the machine.
You're wondering what's going to be, around the next corner. And I guess the hope that we have as a group, as a team, is that that's going to be the unifying factor in terms of people playing the game and giving us feedback, that it's notable that the game has a soul or a vibe that is a little bit unique and special. That's my highest hope for the game, I guess.
It definitely looks unique. I give it that. Look at that. Look at that thing. I saw that little clip of it, like running around in a floating suitcase, whatever it was. There we go. Coming 25th of May, very shortly. 5 days from recording this, it's coming out. Okay, that was the Biomutant explanation trailer to get a little bit of a more of a look from the dev's point of view of what this game is going to be, and it looks interesting. It certainly looks unique, like he is hoping it will look like. It definitely has that going for it. The only worrying thing for me, is this is a very personal thing to me, is that I still haven't even finished Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And this game looks just as big as that. So I don't know when I'm gonna ever get the time to really play this properly the way it's probably intended to be played. It looks good. I mean, we've been starved for new games this year because of unfortunate real world events that have been going on, and it's been putting everything on hold, not just video games. But this has sort of been the one that I've been looking forward to this year so far. That and Resident Evil 8, which I also haven't played yet because of time. But it's nice to see this looking good. I liked all the sort of weapon mechanics stuff they were throwing in there, like how you can change the way it looks and that will alter its effect, and looks like there's some options there to make some really cool looking stuff. And again, for customization stuff as well, like you're able to looks like click and drop things onto your whatever armor and clothes you're wearing, and that will have an effect on that piece of armor and what it'll do. So it looks like it's very intricate and varied, and there's a lot of stuff for you and me as a player to sort of mess around with and experiment with. That's all looking really good and interesting. Also, just the world itself looks fascinating. It looks like a sort of post-apocalyptic, something's happened in this world to have created what it looks like. I don't know if it's meant to be Earth. I doubt it's meant to be Earth. I reckon it's some kind of sort of fantasy play on Earth in some way, and this is sort of, well, unless it is meant to be Earth, who knows? We'll find out in the story, I suppose. The only real story information, speaking about it, they gave here in this video was the sort of idea of the tribes and you aligning yourself with the tribe, and that will affect the game world, specifically this, like, the life tree thing that's going to be sitting in the middle of the map, and that will sort of alter depending on where you align yourself. I do wonder, I guess the way you align yourself will ultimately influence the actions that you'll take as a player, and that will affect the world, I assume, maybe, based on what they're saying here. I don't know if you align yourself with a dark or a tribe, but then you choose that you'd rather be making choices that they wouldn't. I wonder if that will have any effect, or if that's even an option. I don't know, but it's something that's interesting to me. Again, that seems to be like, I'm wondering how the story is going to work and how it's going to unfold. If it's going to be you align yourself with a tribe and then you get missions from people from that tribe or something along those lines. I'm sure there'll be like side quests and all that kind of stuff, like random people you might meet, because it looks like that it's the thing about the world, the open world to this, it looks like it's both vast but also looks like it's got some dense areas in there as well. So I'm interested to see how populated it's going to be and how much there is to actually do, if it's just all going to be quest lines or if there's going to be little things you can find to do in the world, all that kind of stuff, other characters to interact with, that, you know, all that kind of thing. But my biggest takeaway from this trailer and various other bits of marketing that I've seen for this game is that it looks like he said he hopes it would be. It looks unique. It looks like its own beast in terms of its aesthetic and style. And I hope the gameplay and the sort of open world follows suit. Like, I hope the way it feels when you're playing it feels something new, because open world games now are a very saturated market, and there's a lot of people just sort of doing what other people have done, but not really adding their own flair to it. Hopefully, and what it looks like, this game is certainly adding its own flair to it, but we'll have to wait and see. I know they've put out a combat trailer and a sort of world trailer as well, which I've looked at the world trailer, I think. That's the bit when I saw the guy floating around in a little floating briefcase thing, which is instantly adorable and cool. But oh yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I still don't quite know what to make of how the story of it is going to unfold, but as for the world and the customization and all that, the aesthetic of it, that's all looking really, really interesting. I just really hope the story and the characters sort of follow suit, because that's the stuff I haven't really looked into yet. I'd rather just sort of play the game and find that out for myself. But everything else is looking really, really good. I don't know if what I'm thinking I might do, because obviously this is a very big game, I doubt I'm going to have the time to play through the whole thing and then make a video about like a review of the whole thing. That certainly just isn't, like, not in a timely way anyway. Maybe in a month or two after the game's come out I could do that, but I don't think that's going to be a possibility. But I do want to make some more video game centric content on this channel from time to time. It's not going to be a priority, but it is something I would like to sort of dip into every so often. So maybe I'll put together, like, if I play the game and maybe a few hours into it, I'll put together sort of an impressions video to sort of just rally off any opinions I might have had since playing a few hours of it, once I feel like I've got a good sense of how the game's going to play and what the world's like and all those kind of things. And maybe, so let me know if you're interested in seeing that. But based on this trailer, I'm certainly interested, and it's definitely a game coming out in the year 2021 that I'm interested in playing and hoping it's going to be a good, fun time. And it definitely looks like that. That's the thing I'm most excited for, is just a fun game to play in 2021. So yeah, hopefully catch you here if I decide to do an impressions video of it once the game is released. So yeah, see you on the next one. Thank you for watching this video, guys. Please hit the thumbs up button if you did enjoy it. Maybe consider subscribing and checking out some of my other content. Other than that, I really hope you enjoyed this video. There's some social stuff down below if you're interested in that kind of thing, and I'll catch you on the next one.